Welcome back to another video on K-Prince Productions. In this video, we visited Riverwood Park witnessing the salmon migration. The salmon migration at Riverwood Park in Mississauga, Ontario is a spectacular natural event that turns a peaceful urban park into a dramatic wildlife theater. Here are some of the most interesting facts about it. The salmon are Great Lakes immigrants. The salmon you see are not native to Lake Ontario. They are primarily Chinook and Coho salmon that were introduced into the Great Lakes in the 1960s. They were stocked to create a sport fishery and to help control the invasive alewife population. This means you're witnessing a successfully established but human-created ecosystem in action. It's a one-way die-hard journey. This migration is the final chapter of the salmon's life. After spending 3 to 4 years maturing in Lake Ontario, they answer an instinctual call to return to the very river system, the Credit River, which runs through Riverwood, where they were born or stocked. They stop eating and use all their energy reserves to swim upstream, spawn, and then, sadly, die shortly after. This death, however, is crucial as it provides nutrients to the river ecosystem. You can witness a dramatic physical transformation. The salmon you see in the river look very different from their lake selves. Body color, they change from silver blue to deep maroon, olive green, or even almost black. Facial features, male salmon, in particular, develop a fearsome-looking hooked jaw called a kype to fight other males for breeding rights. Body shape, they become more muscular and battered from the journey and fights. Riverwood is a premier urban viewing spot. While the salmon run the entire Credit River, Riverwood Park is one of the best places to see them because the Chalmers Trail runs right alongside the Credit River, offering easy, accessible viewpoints. There are small rapids and riffles in the river here. Salmon often gather in the deeper pools below these rapids, resting and mustering energy before attempting to leap up and continue their journey. This is where you'll see the most action. leaping is a test of strength and instinct. Watching a 20 to 30 pound Chinook salmon hurl itself out of the water to conquer a small waterfall is breathtaking. They don't always make it on the first try. They use their powerful tails to propel themselves, often slamming against the rocks. This relentless effort is driven purely by the instinct to reproduce. They are keystone corpses. While it may sound grim, the death of the salmon after spawning is a vital part of the ecosystem. Their carcasses fertilize the river. As they decompose, they release vital marine-derived nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus into the freshwater system. Feed the food web, everything from insects and crayfish to birds, raccoons, and mink feast on the carcasses, providing a crucial food source heading into the winter. You might smell them before you see them. During the peak of the run, and especially towards the end, the smell of decaying fish can be quite strong along the riverbanks. This is a natural sign of the cycle completing itself and the nutrients returning to the environment. They share the river with a homebody cousin. While the salmon are the dramatic visitors, keep an eye out for the resident brown trout. They are often seen holding in the same currents. Unlike salmon, brown trout do not necessarily die after spawning and can live and reproduce in the river for years. The run is a seasonal spectacle. Timing is everything. Coho salmon typically run from late September to October. They are smaller and more silver-colored than the Chinook, even during the run. Chinook salmon, the main event. They run from late September through October, peaking in mid-October. This is the best time to visit. a conservation success story. The health of the salmon run is an indicator of the improving health of the Credit River. Efforts to improve water quality, create fish passages, and restore habitat have been vital. Organizations like the Credit Valley Conservation CVC actively monitor and manage the fishery. In summary, a visit to Riverwood Park during the salmon run isn't just a walk in the park. It's a front row seat to a story of life, death, instinct, and ecological renewal, all playing out in the heart of a bustling city. We hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Share, like, and subscribe.